Welcome to Why Such a Fuss, an exciting new channel dedicated to help individuals and businesses to learn more about data protection in a way that is easy and engaging. I'm Christina from CVG Solutions, and I am a fully qualified data protection professional. I am passionate about educating, empowering, and enabling businesses to thrive. Remember to like and subscribe to this channel and help us to spread the word. Data protection is there for a reason. It protects you, your family, loved ones, customers, employees from coming to harm through the use of personal data. So make sure you click subscribe. Now, get ready to embark on a journey of growth and knowledge as we dive into the world of data protection. Julie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. I'm Julie. I'm the founder of Apuri Solutions, a chartered fellow and an accredited coach, and indeed an award winner now as well, which is absolutely amazing news. So I work with small and medium-sized businesses, really to empower the businesses through people solutions. As Christina mentioned, for me, it's all about sharing that knowledge, the experience, and learning. It's such an essential part of what we do. So I provide day-to-day support, strategic support on people relations, all things people, and do leadership coaching as well. So Christina, did you want to give us a glimpse of what you do?
Yeah, all right, I'll do that if you really want me to. Okay. So I'm Christina, and my organization is called CVG Solutions, and we are a multi-award winning GDPR or data protection professional. Like Julie, I primarily work with small and medium-sized businesses, including charities, and I really like to see them thrive. And GDPR does that, enables them to grow. And so I love working with them. My approach is practical and hands-on, and which enables them to create solutions that are proportionate to the size and complexity of my client or the business that I work with. And so I help them to navigate the intricacy of GDPR through educating them about the subject, about the regulation, which then empowers them to make informative decisions. As they say, knowledge is power. This in turn helps them or enables them rather, to operate with a high-performing culture, which then fuels their growth. So for me, it's all about educating, empowering, and enabling.
So in terms of how you can ensure fairness and avoid the risk of micromanagement, I think if we think about how we can do this, one of the key things that have come through from our discussions is actually the transparency. Making people aware that this is something that you're going to do, having it in that the simple English terminology, where Christina said about a teenager should be able to understand it without any legal words or complexities in it, I think is really, really important. We need to be able to demonstrate and communicate. And the biggest thing is the communication. For me, it's not putting it on the internet and hiding it away. It's actually making sure that people are aware of this and the purpose why. So it's having that clear purpose and actually talking about how it's going to benefit them as individuals. That could be benefiting the business, therefore driving, looking at productivity. It could be, if you're vehicle tracking, potentially loan working and things like that. But I think it's having that clear purpose of why you're doing it, but also having informed consent. So this is having a consent form from employees so they are fully aware of the types of monitoring that are going to be in place. And having that open dialogue. So encouraging people to ask questions, be curious about the need for monitoring, what's happening with that information, Is it needed? Is it valuable to the business? Is it not? And actually not shying away from having that conversation with individuals, because again, that links back to having that clear purpose and enabling that informed consent. I think as well that certainly a lot of businesses are very, very good at having processes in place. But for this, it's also a lot of focusing on what the outcome is going to be. So not just, well, we're going to do this, but actually what are we expecting to get out of this? So performance metrics. It's not necessarily tracking, well, you're not tracking every keystroke that someone's doing. Actually, how is the information you're monitoring going to respond if you've got an SLA, so a service level agreement? Are you hitting those turnaround times, for example? Rather than, right, Joe Blogs, you've done this many keystrokes in a minute, so we're going to talk about your performance. Thinking about the quality over the quantity. So we all like to have that value add. It's incredibly important. It sets businesses apart from others. But if you're monitoring, you've got that micromanagement feeling within the business because of the data that you're collecting, your quality is going to slip. Your quantity may increase, but actually nobody wants bad customer service. Nobody wants a bad response. So think about the added value that this can bring. But also think about flexible work arrangements. Does it mean people have to be in the office? Is there the opportunity for hybrid? Does it impact anything? Actually, does it allow different styles, different preferences of working? We're in an age where actually we've got a lot more freedom as employers to offer employees, and actually all of that then turns nicely into that transparency, the communication, and actually we're doing it because it's the right thing to do for the business.
Yes, I just want to pick on something that you said earlier about consent and obtaining consent from the employees. So this is really interesting because obviously consent is one of the lawful bases that an organization can use to process personal data. However, one of the criteria of consent is that it must be freely given. So in order for the consent to be valid, it needs to be freely given. In an employer-employee scenario, we have a power imbalance, and therefore the consent will not meet the freely given criteria, therefore is invalid. So consent cannot be used in an employer-employee environment as a lawful basis. Now, when it comes to monitoring and tracking your employees, there is no fairness. There are no benefits for the employee. Now, this topic has been explored at length by all the data protection specialists that I know, and there's many, and some of whom have been in their profession for over 25 years. Some are also lawyers in this space. There is no benefit. There are no fairness for the employees. So I'm really sorry for any of you that this is sort of bursting the bubble, but it is the reality of the matter. By monitoring and tracking your employee, you are actually causing, you're invading their privacy, you're breaching their rights and freedom, but also you're not doing yourselves as an employer any favor. And as Julie already mentioned, it is break of trust, there is break of respect, productivity will go down, quality will be impacted. So really, really think carefully about doing it. There are other ways and better ways of getting the best out of your employees, and make sure that you still retain that control. If they are working remotely, for example, there are better ways of achieving that empowers them, which again is something that Julie touched earlier. That empowerment is really, really important. Sorry, Julie, I just wanted to.
No. Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. I think it's a really interesting point, and it's such a delicate point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because employers need to get the buy-in because you don't want to lose the staff. But equally, it's finding that message, finding that clear, consistent message of the reason behind the why.
Yes.
There's the need to do it. So I think when we think about the balance of trust, where we've talked about the impact that it can have on individuals. So, on one hand, we're saying, right, we want to have an autonomous workforce. We want you to feel trusted, but actually, we're going to monitor X, Y, Z, and it could be a variety of things as long as it meets the criteria. It's about having that conversation of why it's a good idea, why it's a good way forward. And I think part of that process is really empowering those individuals so that you're building the trust and autonomy within the decisions that are being made. So empowering employees to take their own decisions and take ownership of their work. We've got the trust and respect, and we probably need to focus on this more in terms of, if we are monitoring, to really bring home actually that we trust and respect individuals, and there is a culture within the business that actually people feel valued, they feel appreciated, they have that ability to work independently. But also where we have regular check-ins with employees to make sure that their progress is being discussed, challenges they may be facing, etc. So if any of that information comes a query in terms of the monitoring, we've already got that information to hand. Now, of course, those check-ins, they don't have to be one-to-ones, they don't have to be formal, but it's worth building in that communication style within the leadership, within the management approach, because again, that really brings the added value to the employees.
I just wanted to remind our audience to please click the follow button to avoid missing any future episodes. If you would like to get in touch with me, I can be found on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search for CVG Solutions. Alternatively, you can email me at info@cvgsolutions.co.uk.